Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to another episode of NBA Central. On today's episode, I'm going over the Golden State Warriors. I believe Andrew Wiggins will help the Golden State Warriors reach the conference finals if he returns. Y'all already know I'm going to talk about it, plus more, right after this.
Thank you for tuning in to the number one place for your basketball fix, NBA Central, hosted by the Cognac Boys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you're listening to today, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And yes, I said it. Andrew Wiggins will help the Warriors reach the Western Conference Finals if he returns. Now, let's go over it. We know that Andrew Wiggins has been out since February 13th. That was the last game he played for personal reasons. I'm not getting into that. It's a lot of rumors. I'm not going into that. That's his business, not ours over here at NBA Central. But the point is that the man has been missing in action to take care of whatever he needs to take care of in his personal life. Now, we know Steve Kerr and other Warriors players have been hopeful that he will return at some point in this season. I believe they should have about 6 or 7 games left. That's the Golden State Warriors, of course, but nothing is guaranteed. But what does Andrew Wiggins bring? He was averaging 17 points and 5 rebounds and definitely was one of those key pieces to their championship run last season. Now, look, they missing him, man. They missing Andrew Wiggins. What's missed? They miss his scoring, but most importantly, they miss his defense. They miss the rebounding. They miss his versatility. They miss what he was able to bring in some of those closing moments in that final series against the Boston Celtics. He was spectacular, and he definitely had a nice run against in the Western Conference Finals against the Dallas Mavs. He was cooking. He was cooking. And this is just a guy who, you know what I'm saying, was able to come in from the Minnesota Timberwolves, having that, you know, that pressure, being traded there from the Cavs, obviously, and not really living up to their expectations per se. But he turned it around in Golden State, and they was able to get the best out of him, put him in a system that's pretty much you could really plug a lot of players in, and they still will be very, very successful. So man, he has been solid with his time with the Golden State Warriors. This is a wing defender that is very much needed in today's NBA. This guy, yeah, he got some game, man. He got some game. And shout out to the Golden State Warriors for being able to pull it out of him. You know what I'm saying? I would say that he's one of the key pieces missing from the team because they really, really need him. I believe that they have been starting DiVincenzo in place of him. But if you add Andrew Wiggins back into this, and now you got DiVincenzo, who's been getting starter minutes and doing things like that and getting more exposure. Now you're moving back to the bench. Now he should be able to do things that are necessary to help the Golden State Warriors continue to push forward. Andrew Wiggins is definitely needed. If he comes back, the Warriors go to the Western Conference Finals. In my opinion, they definitely gonna need Andrew Wiggins' defense against teams like Phoenix, who are getting Kevin Durant back tonight. They need him against Denver just because of the length that they have over there with Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon. Andrew Wiggins will be able to match up well with them. The Memphis Grizzlies, we already know what that is between the Golden State Warriors and the Memphis Grizzlies. That's something that Andrew Wiggins was a part of, and he played very, very well against the Memphis Grizzlies as well, and came out a victor with the team. So, and we never know, you know, how this thing playing out. You know, teams are still fighting for a position because the Lakers, you know, they can suddenly move up too, and if the Golden State Warriors somehow, some way face the Lakers, because we don't know how this thing gonna shake out, Andrew Wiggins will be needed for that too, to guard players like LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and all those other guys over there, because they got a solid little team over there too. You know what I'm saying? And the good thing is that if they get Andrew Wiggins back, Gary Payton just came back as well, who was crucial to the championship run as well. He played his part. You know what I'm saying? Now you added 2 guys who are great defenders and have that championship pedigree back into the team, back into a fold, with Steph Curry doing what he did to New Orleans Pelicans yesterday to only help further build that confidence. Man, it'd be something to where right now the teams that typically get hot going into, you know, the ending of the season, those typically are the teams that go on runs. Look at the Boston Celtics last year. Look at the Dallas Mavericks. You know what I'm saying? Look at the Golden State Warriors again last year. So the teams that typically get hot at the right time, they typically can go on a run. Now, I know some people going to come here and say, well, the Memphis Grizzlies are getting hot, and rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still going to put my money on the Golden State Warriors simply because who they have on the team. And I know that some people are going to come on here and comment and say, hey, the Warriors are bad on the road. They are bad on the road. 9-29 road record, but they are outstanding and very, very hard to beat at home. Can't count these guys out, man. Steph Curry, he still can go ahead and turn it on at any given moment. As I just mentioned before, he just did his thing against New Orleans Pelicans. Klay Thompson has turned it all the way around. Probably not the defender that he was before the injuries, but he definitely has been. He filled in when Steph Curry was out, and he definitely has been right back being that splash brother that's very, very needed. Then you get that scoring punch off the bench with Jordan Poole, who got an offensive bag that's crazy. A little shaky on the defensive side, but hey, at the end of the day, the guy still contributes. You still got the leadership of Draymond Green. It's still a big, in the air, still a bit questionable, you know what I'm saying, what happened between Draymond Green and Jordan Poole before the season started affects the team, but you still got to you still got to take it into consideration how great Draymond Green is when it's time to go win a championship or at least contend for a championship. And then you cannot dismiss Steve Kerr as the head coach. Absolutely outstanding head coach, one of the top head coaches in the league, and definitely know how to get the best out of his players. Now, I know y'all with all that, given, some people still gonna say, but Bobby, they still trash on the road, and rightfully so. I will not argue that. But if you telling me today, if they match up against the Kings as the 3 versus the 6 seed, that the Golden State Warriors couldn't force a game 7. You couldn't tell me that. They can force a game 7. Obviously, the game 7 will be on the road. And let's just say they didn't win any games on the road before that. They won all their home games, and they forced the game 7 to be in Sacramento. You can't tell me that the championship pedigree and the pressure that will be in that game, the intensity that will be in that game will be too big for a Golden State Warriors team. That's just what it is. And then if you're looking at the others that's surrounding, you know what I'm saying? If they go against a Denver, I believe they can beat them. I believe they can. If they go against a Phoenix, I believe they can beat them simply because Phoenix don't have the continuity or the experience with one another with KD added in there. Granted, he is one of the best plug and play players, in the NBA, but at the same time, we know the championship pedigree and the storyline that will happen and that will come out if there's some way, somehow that the Phoenix Suns match up against the Golden State Warriors, it's going to go down. But I say all that to say, if all chips are pushed to the table in the game 7, in that first round, I'm going with the Golden State Warriors. That's just me. I respect Mike Brown, NBA Coach of the Year, rightfully so. But I just think that those guys, that pressure will be too big for them to overcome when you going against the defending champs with championship pedigree who know how to, at least push it when it counts. So the 9-29 record, bro, it's terrible. It's terrible. But I still believe if they get their one piece back, they will be able to make it at least to the Western Conference Finals. That's just me. That's gonna, because the West is wide open. There's no definitive answer. Yes, we could point to how well Denver's been playing. Yes, we can point to how the Memphis Grizzlies are starting to catch that heat. But it's still wide open and anything can happen. So I'm going to just go ahead and just say it, man. If Andrew Wiggins returns, the Warriors will be going to the Western Conference Finals. Hey, y'all let me know if y'all agree with it or not. Look, it is what it is. It's basketball. We're going to talk about it. Comment below. Let's have a conversation. Let's get this out the way. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you want to follow everyone here collectively, hit us all up at NBA Central Show at gmail.com, NBA Central Pod, NBA Central Pod on Twitter. And if you want to respond to this take or any other takes that we have given out, hit us up at 773-270-2799 for our mailbag, man. Let's get it. It's another episode of NBA Central. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one.
Thank you for tuning in to the number one place for your basketball fix, NBA Central, hosted by the Cognac Boys.